Hey, just thought I'd put this at the beginning. Don't forget, this is very, very inappropriate and not safe for work. If you're not comfortable with sexual stuff or any of the like, now's a good time to stop and watch something else. So, let's do this, shall we? And here you all thought I pussed out. Yes, again. Hello everyone, welcome back to Cruel and Unusual Storytime. I am your host, Simon Dexter, and we are resuming our read-through of Dipper Goes to Taco Bell. Really looking forward to this. Sorry about last week, it was unexpected crap, we're not going to talk about it. I just want to get through this. I'm going to read this, read all of it, make it as fast as possible. To do so, I'm actually cutting out the picture thing that I usually do when I'm actually reading the story this time, just so I can save on editing and transitioning and stuff. I can just get it done and it's over with. And just so you know why I don't do this normally is because I notice when I'm filming on the program and I'm holding the mic up, it doesn't capture my voice as well as it does when I'm using the actual recording program that I use to do when I'm reading. If it's doing it now, that's great. Usually it doesn't. But let's do this, shall we? Do we all remember where we left off? I sure do. He wanted his shit. He held the brown underwear like a fish on a lure and put his sticky white lips into the sticky brown feces. I remember why I stopped. His tongue was rubbing the crap all over his tidy whites, making his mouth all a brownish white mess. Don't picture it, you're just gonna gag, I promise you. He was biting into the shit and sucked it in his mouth. Gross. It was more stimulating than ever before. He now knew that he didn't need Wendy or Mabel. She's her sister, so I'd hope not. I know there's the whole Pine twin-cest deal, but sorry, but fuck you people. Or any of the other girls in the Gravity Falls. All he needed was a big pile of his shit. Good for you, I guess. He took up a scoop of the feces. He had a lot of diarrhea. Make sure we know this. Oops, wrong button. And began to spread it over his dick, because of course. Every time he spread the crap, he was getting more and more aroused. Once his dick was completely brown, he came again. He's got some crazy stamina. It filled up all the spots in the stall that weren't covered in Dipper's cum. Once again, Dipper took big scoops of cum and consumed it in large gulps. Goody! Now Dipper had to put the brown sticky feces all over his penis again. And boy did he do a good job. The brown stuff was all over his external genitals and his testicles. What the fuck is the difference? Anyway. He had come a few times here and there. Is he just non-stop going? Because I'm starting to think it's getting a bit unhealthy. I'm pretty sure you're gonna kill your own testicles at this point. He brung his erection up to his mouth and began to suck. This time he made it very clear to lick the feces off with his tongue. I think I skipped a line, but whatever, I'm just gonna keep going. And as soon as the tongue touched his dick, he cummed. I'd say I wish I could go that often, but I really don't. He was having the most fun he had ever had in the bathroom stall, and forgot who he was, where he lived, where he was, or what he was eating, clearly. All that was on his mind was his sweet cum. Is there no one else in this restaurant? Is the guy who works there not even paying attention? Did he not notice the kid went into the bathroom and just never came out? Wouldn't he be a bit concerned by now? Oh, good. This next line makes me feel very hopeful. He just thought of a great idea. I doubt it. Dipper took a scoopful of diarrhea and a scoopful of cum and put it in the toilet. Where it belongs, kind of. He flushed it, but before it went all the way down... he grabbed the pile of shit and cum and stuck it in his mouth. You're gonna see me doing this a lot, because this makes me stop my gag reflex. And you can call me a pussy for gagging at this, but if this doesn't affect you in any way, you are desensitized to this. I don't want to know what you've been reading, okay? Because this is just beyond what I was expecting, kind of. Dipper was consuming all the shit common toilet water. It tasted great. Toilet water just tastes like water. Not that I'd know. I've actually never... I would assume it wouldn't taste like anything, right? I don't know. We do crazy things when we're kids. He kept on doing it for God knows how long, and one of the times he hit his head against the toilet rim. Good, that's what you get, frankly. Dipper's brain must have been knocked into place at that time, because this time, instead of putting the shit and cum in his food hole, he started to lather on his penis again. That makes no sense, but okay. He wanted more of his Johnson, but that would be a fatal mistake. Once it was covered again, he put it in his mouth and began sucking, but did it too hard. You sucked too hard? And he was sucking and coming, and he accidentally bit on his dick. Ow! Why would you do that? No, don't bite on that. It's painful. Not that I'd know. She didn't know how to open her jaw much. As soon as he tasted the blood, he broke out of coitus and saw his lacerated penis. I'm so glad it's going in this direction, because this is exactly what I needed for my day. He saw a mix of blood and cum coming out of it, like lava. Like a lava? Like a lava, okay. And his erectile muscle oh god. Is erectile muscle pointing out? Ugh. That's horrible. Okay. I don't like this at all. Dipper grabbed it and grimaced in pain. No, really? He winced at it and looked horrified. He snapped out of it all and tried to figure out a solution to this castration. Why don't you call a doctor? And this is coming from a guy who's had a testicular torsion, okay? I don't like anything hurting down there. No one does. I'm not making sense. You put more of diarrhea cum on it, but that didn't stop the bleeding. I hope that gets it infected, you dipshit. Okay. Dipper, dipshit, that's funny. I'm funny. Dipper spit out the piece of dick that he bit off. I tried to reapply it, but it didn't work. No, really? No matter how many times he tried to reattach it, they all failed. I hate this. He put more of his reproductive fluids on the castration, but that only made the penis swell up like a Goodyear blimp. Oh shit. Dipper was licking the blood off the try to stop it. He licked the blood off the try to stop it, whatever. But the blood was coming faster than he could lick it. He was now in ultimate pain. I hope so. You deserve this for making me feel this way. It felt nothing like this. He screamed as loud as he could, and felt like no one could hear him. He was screaming louder and louder, saying, "Help! I bit my dick off!" I'm glad this is happening. I'm glad I'm reading this. This is so worth my time. He was going insane. He started to bang the stall, screaming help as loud as he could yell. After full 5 minutes, with a large mix of blood, cum, and feces on the floor, he was banging his head against the stall. You just said this. Why are you repeating yourself? The banging was louder than the loudest thunderstorm, and yet no one came for help. It probably sounds loud to you because you're right next to it. Dipper was alone in the bathroom, alone in the stall, alone with his beloved dick. Now too near death, and unfortunately, he was near death. You know, this is actually pretty concise and intelligent when I started, and now I think he has one hand on his dick while he's writing this or something, because none of this is making sense now. After one final blow to the head, the now screaming Dipper was now as silent as Christmas Eve. as silent as Christmas Eve. Merry Christmas, everyone. He fell to the floor, eyes turned skyward, and fell in a mix of his own blood, cum, and feces. I guess Dipper died, everyone. But that's not the end of the story. There's like a ton left. Okay, at 97. How much longer do I have? A lot. Oh god, so much. Okay, I'm at 97. I have to read to 208. The 208th line. Oh, goody. I can do it, though. I can do it. At the Mystery Shack, Mabel was feeling very worried about Dipper, so she went off and tried to find him. She went off into the forest first. She knew where it was, and surprisingly got there in less time than Dipper. She didn't say she was going to Taco Bell. She said into the forest. I guess we're supposed to assume. As she entered the newly cleaned doors, she immediately noticed the once-bitten taco on the table, and immediately knew it was Dipper's. That's talent. Mabel rushed into the men's room. She liked to use the urinals, and rushed into a random stall. It was her brother's. Mabel looked at how messy the stall was and how it was used to do the deed. Her pink sneakers were sticky. I'm sorry, he crammed the words together, so I guess I got it confused. Sticky from sipping in the reddish-brown mess of fluids. She walked around the messy stall for a bit, but then saw the most horrid sight she could imagine. Dipper's corpse. What did you get? You don't bite down there. It doesn't end well. Mabel was welled up in tears at the sight of it and began to cry. As she was crying, she sat down in a pile of blood, feces, and cum, and looked at Dipper's lifeless face. I suddenly don't like where this is going. Not that I liked any of this, but I just realized this could get a lot worse, and I didn't think it could at this point. Okay. It was beautiful, and his smooth facial features complemented his circle of cum around his lips. "Oh, Dipper," Mabel said through her tears, "let me clean that white stuff off of your lips." Mabel brought Dipper's head up to her lips, and she kissed him. I knew it could get worse. Why am I surprised at this point? After pulling out of the kiss, Mabel enjoyed it, and so she kissed him again. She didn't want to let go of Dipper, not now, not when he had just died. He was her brother, after all. She held Dipper's naked corpse in her arms. I forgot he was totally buck-ass naked. And she felt a tingling feeling in herself. An secret dirty side. Your English hurts me. Almost as much as making people bite their dicks. No one would care if we just did it, right? He is dead now. And no number one. Oh my god, really? Oh, goody. I was hoping it would at least be well written. Nightmare fuel, but I guess I gotta read through this too. And no one would know in this restroom stall. Do I have to do this? Do I really? Fuck. Okay. Mabel thought. She immediately came up with an answer. She pulled Dipper's head up to her head and kissed him again. Only it was a French kiss. That was a horrible French accent. Don't ever do that again, Simon. Okay. Once Mabel was done, she put the body on the floor. Then Mabel got down on the fluid-covered floor, too. Mabel started to go on a kiss-crazy frenzy with Dipper. I didn't know that was a thing, but okay. That made it look like Dipper was alive. Tongue went into Dipper's deceased mouth, scraping the feces and cum off of the roof of Dipper's mouth. Ugh. Mabel was shaking even more now. Her tongue was touching Dipper's. She unzipped her jeans. Does she wear jeans? Not very often. Not that I remember. Slowly slid them off and then threw them at the wall. They stuck there from the cum. Jesus Christ. Must have been a lot. Mabel revealed her nice, clean, exposed, virgin vagina. Okay, now the NSA is listening. They'll be breaking down my door any minute now. I'm waiting. Okay, back to the story. She took Dipper's corpse, not noticing the eternally bleeding penis. It's going to bleed for eternity, everyone. He has got that much blood. That's fantastic. And brought it up closer to the cervix. She rubbed her clitoris for arousal purposes before she stuck it in. And once the dick was firmly in, she finally felt joy in her life. Wow. Wow. I felt joy in her life. She loved the feeling of losing it to her dead brother's body, and started to get the oddest feeling. Okay, first of all, how is he still hard? I'm pretty sure biting his penis would have turned him off pretty hardcore before dying. I guess rigor mortis must have set in, folks. She lost it. She finally lost it. This is what she was, the oddest feeling she was had. She squealed in happiness and started to French kiss Dipper harder. Her tongue almost touched Dipper's uvula. Beautiful. She kept holding on to his lacerated dick in her vagina and sloshing her tongue all around Dipper's mouth. She kept pulling in and out with Dipper's stick. Blood was getting on her urethra walls. On the urethra is in the guy. Wait. I don't know. Do they call it the urethra walls with a girl too? I don't think so. Whatever, I haven't taken health class in like 10 years. Give me a break. Not noticing one bit, she did not want to leave the body. Not now. She would kill herself if it could mean they'd be in coitus forever. Okay. Whatever floats your boat. If only Dipper could kiss her back. After what seemed like hours, it wouldn't fit in. Mabel looked down at the now pretty messed up penis. Pretty sure it was messed up before then, but whatever. Mabel couldn't look away at it. It was swollen to the size of her head. How? A whole mix of rainbow colors and still spewing lifeless cum. How? Mabel vomited on it, which only made it worse. Good. I'm glad. Can't take much more of this. But it's going by faster than I thought it was. That's good, that's good, that's good. It grew bigger and bigger. Oh, Dipper, she said softly. Then Mabel started to scream. She was horrified at the sight of it and started to barf again. She had put a giant mix of blood, cum, vomit, and feces on the dick. Why? Why do they keep doing this? But it didn't work. She tries to suck it all off. Why do you random go to present tense? Whatever. Sucked off, but found herself enjoying the sucking and the taste of Dipper's penis blood, of course. She was ecstatic. She was more happy than she had ever been, more happy than she was before, and she was squealing with delight. The stall door started to open a crack. Mabel took notice of this. This is only going to get worse and worse, isn't it? Huh? She asked. The door started to open more. It was locked. Mabel started to get nervous. She didn't want to go to jail for necrophilia. Yes, you can. About to wonder if you could go to jail for that, but I'm actually pretty sure you can. She's only a child who bit off more than she could chew. She got too ahead of herself, after lusting after her twin brother for so long. If it was the police, she had no hope. She hoped it was just another Taco Bell employee who would listen to her and help her out. The stall door finally burst open. Standing in front of it was a man dressed in black. He had a Taco Bell logo sewn on the left of his fleece jacket. He was wearing squeaky shoes that squeaked across the bathroom floor. He was wearing dark sunglasses. Is this the guy that cleaned up the bathroom before? I think it was, actually. The mysterious man walked up to the two of them slowly. Mabel stood up on her feet, fear and blood on her face. The man stared at Mabel for a long time until he finally said, "Are you supposed to be in this bathroom, young lady?" Mabel was shaking in horror now. She turned to Dipper's naked, violated dead body and turned to face the man again. "Mister, I didn't intend to do this to my brother. You're making it sound like you killed him now. You suck at this," Mabel said, shaking, with tears in her eyes. The man brought himself closer to Mabel's face. "Sir, you're in my personal space," Mabel tried to manage. "What do you care?" The man was inspecting a red spot on Mabel's cheek. After several seconds, the man touched the spot, trailed his finger in it, and put the finger in his mouth. Blood, the man whispered to himself. What did you say, sir? Mabel asked him, not understanding what he was saying. Little girl, do you know what that is on your cheek? The man asked. There is a dead body, covered in shit common blood. What more do you want from her? Mabel repeated what the mysterious man did to her cheek and said back to him. You lost what you were writing there, clearly. It's blood. And with blood being on your cheek, have you developed, shall we say, a desired taste for it? The man asked back. Oh, God, please don't do this to me. Mabel did not notice the retractable chisel in his right hand. The what? Retractable chisel? I don't want to know what it's going to do with that. Yes? I didn't mean to, I just... Shh. The man quieted her. If you like the addicting taste of it, why didn't you say so? And without warning, the man cut her across the chest with the chisel. I'm glad. Good. I'm glad this is a thing that's happening. She screamed at the pain of it. Blood started to pour out of the diagonal cut fast, almost covering her stomach. You can lick that up. Your blood probably tastes better than that kid's, the man said, pointing a dipper. The man gave another cut across her face. She screamed again, louder this time. Glad we're done with the sex, at least. I can get the blood close to your face, and just make sure you're silent. And the man slit her across the neck. She could not scream this time. What the fuck is happening? The man went into her neck and pulled out 3 vocal cords. Ugh. That's pleasant. The man stretched the cords out and he jumped rope with them. He jumped rope with her vocal cords. While slashing Mabel across the face several times. When her face was cut so many times that her nose fell off, pleasant, the man decided it was time for the scalping. He took out a bigger knife and slammed it right above Mabel's eyebrows. What the fuck is happening? It started out so pleasant and then got weird and then got gross. Now it just got stupid. Where was I? The man gripped the knife's handle still in her face and began to make a deep cut. The man put all his strength into it because he decided to make the hardest part first. He tried to do it right on the skin, but sadly did not do the job he liked. Sorry. Mabel's head was now topless, and the top of her skull exposed and violently cut so that you could see her brain inside the skull. Was she not dead yet? The pieces of muscle, and flesh were still attached to Mabel's hair and scalp, so the man cut them off. The scalp was now thin as skin and still full of Mabel's hair. How? He hung the scalped scalp up on the whore of the door. Did you mean the hook of the door, sir? You put an R there instead of a K. It would be his prize, something he kept for himself. Now the man prepared for the rest of the body. How long is this gonna go on? I'm 162 now, and I gotta get to 208. Okay. What he wanted to do next was to make it rain. Not water, as you may think. I didn't think water. I'm pretty sure he meant blood. He wanted to make it rain something else. He got down to Mabel's blood-covered chest, grabbed her not fully developed breasts. She's always wearing a sweater. I wouldn't notice if she had breasts. And began to cut off Mabel's nipples. Once he was done, the blood started to come out, like Old Faithful geyser. He was amazed by the sight of the fountain of blood and began to dance around in the stall, stepping on all the fluids that were on the floor. What the fuck is happening? Where did this guy come from? Who is he? What's going on? I'm so lost. There's just violence everywhere. Okay, where was I? Now we're on the floor. When the blood was starting to flow a little less slowly, the man moved on to the legs. The man hung hung Maple's nipples next to the scalp. The nips were his prize, too. How do you hang nipples? I started to cut Mabel's legs. He started to cut faster than a race car driver on a smooth asphalt track. Cuts kept on appearing on her kneecaps until the cap bone was exposed. By that time, her lower legs and her body were only attached to by a thin string of cartilage. She's still alive? I highly doubt it at this point. But they haven't really said anything otherwise, so who's to say? Then the guy moved on to her toes. With a knife as sharp as... With a knife as sharp as knife, he cut every one of her little toes off. This is a gem, in every sense of the word. Mabel's body was losing so much blood that she started to flatten out. That's not how the body works, by the way. The place where it was mostly coming out of was her toes. The toe blood was making a sea of red on the floor. I'm imagining just the shining levels here, folks. The man, now with his Taco Bell fleece jacket splattered with red on it, you said it was black, there's no way you could tell, now dug the knife into Mabel's left foot. He began to make another cut, similar to the same on the other foot, then hung the skin up next to the scalp. Mabel's feet were now just a big mess of flesh, muscle, blood, and nerves. Mabel, who was still alive, really? That is surprising at this point. Face was now completely exposed to all the cuts she was getting, the mouth hanging open like a gaping person. I do that whenever they just write shit that's not sensical in the English language whatsoever. The blood was already covering her chest, and since the man actually had a soul, he didn't want to subject the girl to the misery she was about to endure. Now he has a soul, it says. Oh well, this is going to be a long video. Oh well. I lost myself. Where am I? Nope, here we go. The little girl, the misery she was about to endure. So he took the long knife and stabbed her in the middle of her chest, where her heart was. Blood poured out of it more than her cut-off nipples did. I would hope so, because technically blood does not come out of nipples usually, but it does come out of the heart. Once most of the blood was done spewing, the man got down near Mabel's bloody vagina. I knew we were going to get to the vagina eventually, folks, because of course we are. Where was I? Here we go. He very carefully took the knife, got down near the cervix, and stuck the knife's blade up the hole. I'm very sorry to my female viewers who are now cringing, because motherfucker, why? While in Mabel's cock cave... That's a funny name for it. I'm so using that, and I'm never going to get laid for it, and that's okay. The man was rotating the knife, cutting the walls of Mabel's egg chamber. That one's more clever. The tip of it finally inside it, and very carefully snipped every one of Mabel's fallopians. How is he seeing any of this? How is he able to do it? It was a hard job. He had to be very careful. He had done it many times before. That is a man with talent. A very sick, horrible talent, but a talent. But today wasn't his best day. He accidentally slit some of the sides of Mabel's vagina, cutting into muscle surrounding it. The man was very embarrassed. Shit, hopefully no one will notice that. God forbid the vagina inspectors don't fucking give you a grade C on your work. That was the stupidest joke. I've had no cuts, as you've noticed. This has been one straight video, so every one of my dumb jokes I haven't had a chance to redo because I don't want to do that. I'm going to sound stupid a lot in this video, and I'm not too embarrassed. I'll live. He said to himself. He took the knife out of Mabel's hole with ovaries and 2 fallopians on the blood-covered blade. Almost there, almost there, almost there. I can do this. The man got out a big plastic trash bag and scraped the knife off. Sorry. Knife on it, making the contents go in the bag. But since the knife's handle was covered in more blood than it usually was, he accidentally let it slip and dug into Mabel's right shoulder. "Perfect," the man said ominously. The man got out a pair of vinyl gloves and put them on his hands. He gripped the knife tightly, wanting a deeper cut than he had before. After a while, after digging... My god, I can see the end. I'm so happy. I'm almost there. After digging and digging and digging, the man's knife got through to the other side. And once the man saw the job he did, he threw the arm in his trash bag. What the fuck is happening? He felt great pride and felt that he could easily achieve his goal now. So he went to the other side of Mabel's nearly skinned body and began to cut that arm off. It was easier to do than the other one, surprisingly, and once he was done with that, he threw that arm in the garbage bag. Mabel's body was now almost flat due to all the blood loss. Again, this is not how the body works. Do not follow the story if you're looking for science. Just don't do it. It's not worth it. The man tasted some of it and thought that he should get a jar for later. He's making her for tacos, isn't he? I'm just realizing that. Am I an idiot? He's doing this to make tacos, isn't he? I'm so fucking stupid. Okay. I haven't read that yet, but I'm willing to bet. Now for the legs. The man did the same with her legs, and they felt like they were getting easier to cut off each time. The legs were off, and the man threw them in the bag. Mabel's body was flat now, again. Almost all of the blood from her body was gone. Embracing Mabel's dismembered body, he hugged it, licked the remaining blood off, and put the body in the bag. The man now had just noticed Dipper on the floor and figured, he must have caused all this on the walls. No. Really? Another one couldn't hurt, the man said to himself, and started to cut off Dipper's appendages. He did it in the same order, same manner. Sorry, I got distracted and lost my thought. In the same manner as Mabel's, it was done quickly and put all in the bag as well. Now it was time to clean up. As you can imagine, the bathroom stall was a big mess of fluids. The man got a big chisel and started to chisel to come off the walls and into the bag. It took a long while, about 2 or 3 hours, or about as long as it's taken me to read this. 31 minutes? Seriously, dear God. If I'd shut up, it'd be much faster right now. Once it was done, he needed to clean the floor, so he went outside the stall and got a mop that he had with him the whole time. He mopped the whole mess off of the things, off of the floor, and into the bag, until the floors and wall looked respectable for a fast food bathroom anyway. The man got out some toilet cleaner and cleaned the toilet because it was way more messier is not how it works, than the stall itself. After a few minutes, the toilet cleaning was over, and the stall was as clean as a new car, I'm assuming you meant to say. It smelled like it too. The man left the bathroom and the stall waited, and ready for its next victim. The man got out of the bathroom and went into the back of the kitchen of the Taco Bell. He got near a machine. It was an odd-looking machine. It had a crank on the side, a funnel on the top, and something shaped like a taco at the side near a conveyor belt. I called it. I know I probably called it a lot slower than the rest of you did, but I still got it. I'm not that dumb. I'm just dumber than you. Why do I have to do everything myself? The man questioned. He hung up his blood-stained jacket and sunglasses, revealing his Taco Bell employee uniform. It was spotless, but we already knew you worked at Taco Bell. This isn't a twist. Was it supposed to be? The man took the bag and one by one started to put the body parts into the funnel. Once the bag was halfway empty, he kept on putting more parts in, only this time he turned the crank. Once the bag was empty, out plopped 2 tacos. They weren't really tacos. Really. Don't say really twice. They were actually human body parts in the shape of tacos. I would have never, ever guessed that on my own. They went down the conveyor belt, and the employee, using the spray cans, began to spray paint the body parts. Once they got to the Taco Bell tissue paper at the end of the conveyor belt, they looked like genuine tacos. The man grabbed one of the tacos, wrapped it in tissue paper, and went to the front counter. He handed it to the old man cashier. They went back to the depths of the kitchen. Sorry about that. "Here's your taco, sir," the cashier said to the fat customer. "You're welcome, dude," Seuss said, handing the cashier his money. He didn't say dude, but Seuss would say dude. And that, everyone, was Dipper Goes to Taco Bell. I don't know what you want me to say, because I'm not going to say anything. I'm done. I'm done for today. If you have any suggestions, leave them in the comments below. If you like the video for whatever reason, go for it, please. If you stayed with me, I'm very appreciative of that, and I think I'm going to go forget this was a thing. See you all real soon.